Well, first of all, when I hear the title World Champion, it it gives me butterflies. It just feels I don't know how to describe it. It feels it is very addictive. The feeling of being a world champion or even just winning, very addictive. So the word or the term world championship or world champion, it for me, just when I hear it, I wouldn't be smiling. I would be feeling responsibility. I would be feeling excitement. I would be feeling anxious. I would be feeling happy. I mean, I was feeling a lot of mixed emotions, and it wouldn't show on me. But it just it's basically our Olympics, right? So it just means so much. I didn't quite understand it. I was very excited to be the world champion, but I didn't really understand it. I didn't really understand what should I do now. I was I was just really overwhelmed by the whole thing in a good way, of course. And it felt very good. And I remember the moment of the last point in 2008 very well, because I remember the last shot I hit a cross-court nick, volley cross-court nick, and I remember that I saw it. I literally saw it. I visualized it before hitting it. Like that second, I remember it very well, and it did hit the nick the way I wanted it exactly, and it it played out perfectly, and yeah, it was kind of a perfect moment. I mean the other world titles, of course, were big for me, but and I remember the last points of everyone, but this one I remember it as if it was just like yesterday, and yeah, it gave me peace every time I win. Like with every world championship I win, I felt a lot of and I was feeling a lot of peace afterwards. And for me, like this mental peace feel like means everything to me. I was thinking the same like everyone was thinking. Will I be able to make it? Will I get to the finals? Will I not get injured? I was exactly thinking like everyone else, but winning was the bigger. Winning was just taking over my mind, or just having a positive attitude, I would say, was taking over my mind. I was doubting my own ability, of course. I was definitely doubting my own ability. I was definitely not sure if that's going to happen or not. But my doubt was never, ever bigger than my faith. Because I've been asked this question of how did you manage to come back, and how did you manage to actually make it all the way through the finals and actually win it. And this is something everyone has to, has to kind of try to let whatever I'm gonna say now sink in, and just think about it, because I think it really worked for me, and I think it does work for a lot of people. It would work for a lot of people when you stay away from something. Like, for instance, in my case, it's sport, or like my sport. You've got to always be mentally connected, like your soul, your mind, your thoughts, your attitude, everything has to be connected to this thing, even though you're not doing it. But you have to always be around it mentally, and I was like always like, visualizing the matches, thinking about the matches, even just I remember just going a lot, just sitting outside the court. There's no one really playing, or there would be just some kid playing in there, but I would just be watching the court and just thinking about the points, how would the point work, and because these things are really powerful. Visualization is very powerful, and I never knew this until I actually tried it myself. So this is one of the biggest secrets, or I would say biggest things that I would really recommend to anyone, whoever stays away from something and they want to just come back to it, or they were forced to stay away of something and they want to come back to it with the same. It's very hard to come with the same kind of course, performance and strength, but to get as close as you could be from where you were before, when you get there, when you get back in, you have to just stay mentally connected to this thing. I never lost hope. I always felt that God is gonna reward me. Life is not that bad. Something good is gonna happen, and it happened, you know. So.
And he's done it.
11-7.
He's done it. Borja Golan shuts out Ramy Ashour.
Tournament is over. I'm thinking about myself standing in the airport, going back, booking my tickets to go back. I'm thinking about checking out of the hotel. I'm thinking about all these kind of stuff. Like literally, I was thinking about all these things at that point, and I'm thinking about whether I'll go back to the States or whether I'll go back to Egypt. What I'm gonna do, just mentally starting on from here. Because I mean, on paper that would look okay. That would look fine. I was 7 months away from any kind of competition. I'm back, and I got to the quarterfinals. I lost. Like that's if it was on paper, and that's fine. I'll just play on the next tournament, the tournament after, and that looks okay. But for me, that was not enough, and for me, that was just not enough, and not because I thought that it's not enough. It went my way, of course not. But I just had the faith all the way that it would just, if I just kept trying and trying and trying and never gave up until the last second, the last breath, something is gonna happen. Somehow something is gonna map up to what I'm dreaming of. I mean, there are things which happened which switched obviously the match and Borja was a very tough opponent on that day to beat. So this match in particular is very special, and there's a lot of, that was the master scene. That was the master scene of so many things. Like all the thoughts in my head just got crammed on that day. And I felt very, disoriented. I was forcing things, and I couldn't find my way through. And then once I found my way through, things just rolled on afterwards, And these are the kind of situations and moments and matches that gives you a lot of confidence in your abilities and make you actually believe that you can go through a lot and still be standing. And I'm in the final, and against a very hungry and smart, younger than me opponent. There's so many Egyptians as well in Qatar, which is amazing, and just the stadium was electrifying. It was unbelievable. I loved the vibe, and I loved the people cheering, and that was a very special day. I mean, just winning it is just something. It's just exceptional for me, and.
He's done it! Ramy Ashour has come back from the dead to steal this World Championship title. He is going absolutely bonkers! That was an epic battle, one of the most exciting finals ever on SQUASHTV, if not the most exciting final.
I wasn't like, oh yeah, I expected this. Of course, no, it was a surprise for me, and then it's just unexplainable. I felt like a baby, and I was like laughing and crying at the same time. There's no words to really describe this. It's just funny. Like the whole thing was just unbelievable, and so many things just happened before that tournament. Just for me to get there and win was just a dream. It was a dream. My first priority is being healthy, and will always be healthy, because I have appreciated health in a very hard way, and I don't need to appreciate it anymore because I've had enough, I think. So I don't need to get anything more to appreciate it. I've learned. Yeah, that's definitely my first priority. But other than that, if I can keep winning, I'll do it. I just want to keep competing. For me, this is just gives me this feeling of of joy, of excitement, of it just makes me feel makes me feel that I'm doing the right thing when I'm playing squash, when I'm playing tournaments, when I'm training, when I'm in the regiment, even just not even playing tournaments, when I'm in the regiment of training, waking up, going to training, coming back, just eating something, just resting, and then going back again to training and thinking about training, watching matches. Like just being in this regiment makes me feel that I'm doing the right thing, makes me feel that I'm where I'm supposed to be in life.